Good morning, one and all. I'm Dr. Kiran Deshwal, Assistant Professor English. In this video lecture, we will talk about the poem Shadwell, composed by John Dryden. John Dryden was born in 1631 and died in 1700. John Dryden was born in Aldwincle, Northamptonshire, England. He was the eldest of 14 children. He entered Trinity College, Cambridge in 1650 and he wrote heroic stanzas in 1658 written on the death of Oliver Cromwell, which is known as his first important work. He became poet laureate and royal historiographer. In this poem, we have six stanzas. Let us talk about the first stanza. In the first stanza, the poet states the reality of life, that all human beings are mortal. Death comes to everybody, and when it comes, even kings have to obey it. So no one can escape from death. MacFlecknoe is the emperor of the realm of nonsense, also realized his hard work. Stanza 2 depicts Flecknoe, the king, was considered famous in his empire in the matter of prose and poetry. The king was ruling his empire successfully and was blessed with a number of children. After growing old, he wanted to choose his successor. The king thought about his sons as his successor, who could be the greatest enemy of wisdom and ways and never-ending war against it. The king chooses Shadwell, his son, as his successor, who resembles him most in stupidity and foolishness. Other children may show some rage of wisdom, but Shadwell stands confirmed in foolishness. Flecknoe compares Shadwell with his other sons and says that they have a little bit of common sense, but Shadwell's stupidity is like a dense fog where daylight cannot pass through it. Flecknoe says that Shadwell's fat body will attract others' attention and appears that it has been designed like this to rule the empire. Flecknoe compares Shadwell's fat body to a huge oak tree which spreads over vast area and casts its shadow on the ground. In the same way, Shadwell is an unless person and will rule the realm of nonsense. Other foolish writers like Haywood and Shelley were merely the shadows of Shadwell. Continuing the introduction of the poem, let us discuss a little bit more. John Dryden is the spokesman of his age. He is the great poet of his age. He is the greatest reasoner in verse. He is indeed a great satirist. He wrote satires, and Shadwell is an extract from his longer satire named MacFlecknoe. Shadwell is a short poem, is an extract, is taken from his long poem MacFlecknoe, which is a satire. It holds an important place in the history of English satirical poetry. It's a masterpiece, it's a personal satire. Shadwell is named after a notoriously bad poet and playwright. His name was Thomas Shadwell. He belonged to the 17th century. This fellow was not a first-rate author, but he was the poet laureate of England. He had quarrelled with John Dryden. Dryden was a Tory and Catholic. Shadwell was a Whig and a Protestant. He attacked Dryden in his satire, The Medal of John Bayes. Thus Dryden became very angry. In the present satire, Dryden portrays Shadwell as a literary dunce. He has been presented as a worthy successor of Flecknoe. So in this poem, Dryden describes Shadwell as a literary dunce, means as a dull poet, as a cheap poet. He has been presented as a worthy successor of Flecknoe. Flecknoe was a poet who doesn't know anything, and Shadwell is his successor. He is carrying on his tradition of dullness. Flecknoe was a third-rate writer. इस कविता में कवि कहना चाहता है कि सैडवेल जो है वो फ्लैक्नोय का उत्तराधिकारी है। फ्लैक्नोय जो है वो थर्ड क्लास राइटर था, थर्ड क्लास पोइट था, उसे कुछ लिखना नहीं आता था। तो इस कविता में कवि जो है सैडवेल को एक सड़क छाप कवि के रूप में निंदा करता है। Shadwell bears the perfect image of Flecknoe in his dullness and stupidity. He is the epitome of nonsense. कहता है कि वो बकवास लिखता है, मूर्खता भरा लिखता है. In his writing, he is never convincing. He is fond of needless repetitions. Dryden has beautifully satirized Shadwell's physical structure and intellectual condition. He has a very fat body. He is as coarse as Norwich drugget. He has been presented as a creature that is free from all thoughts. उसको एक ऐसे प्राणी के रूप में चित्रित किया गया है जो कि हर प्रकार के विचारों से मुक्त है. So he is the fittest to be a successor to Flecknoe. He is the last prophet of tautology. Describing Shadwell's character, Dryden says, Shadwell का चरित्र चित्रण करते हुए ड्राइडन कहते हैं, The Shadwell is a great satire. It is remarkable for its delightful tone. The tone is mock heroic and is full of pompous irony. This poem is written in heroic couplet in the iambic pentameter. Dryden has used it with great felicity. Its language and presentation is highly impressive. It suitably serves the purpose of the satirist. Here Dryden has vehemently satirized the character of Shadwell. The design of the poem is very happy indeed. The central figure of the story is highly ingenious. इस कविता का जो पर्पज है वो ये है कि ड्राइडन जो है वो सैडवेल को सैटिराइज करना चाहता है, और इस कविता की जो डिज़ाइन है, इस कहानी का जो सेंट्रल फिगर है वो हाईली इंजीनियस है. तो हम आगे, ये आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर में लिखी गई है, मोक हेरोइक पोएम है क्योंकि इसमें उपहास उड़ाया गया है. तो अपन जो है इस कविता को नेक्स्ट वीडियो में पढ़ेंगे. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.